Hi everyone, welcome back to another video, and in today's video, because a couple of you guys asked for it, we're going to be doing mag compatibility on the Double Eagle Jackal, which is known as the LUPUS. So you guys want it, we've got a selection of magazines here. I do have a chrono as well, just so we can check. But we have Double Eagle or Salvo Precision Stanag, Double Eagle PMag version 2, Double Eagle Daniel Defense magazine. We've got this, which come with a Secutor, which is just like a version 2 PMag, but we've included it anyway. We've also got a short Tokyo Marui mag, a normal Tokyo Marui mag. We've got a Guns Modify Strike Industries mag. We've got a Guns Modify version 1 PMag. We've got a Guns Modify version 3 PMag. We've got a CGS Lance magazine. We've got a CGS Stanag magazine. We've also got the Stanag magazine from Bolt. And finally, we've got the VMAR from Vorsk. So we're going to be testing all these today. Quick chrono, see what it's doing compared to the magazine, which obviously comes with the guns. And then we can see if they'll feed and work as usual. So there was a comment on one of my videos recently of a guy calling me a hypocrite in terms of the magazines, because he says, I basically said on camera that I didn't believe that these were worth what they cost. And I still stand by that. I don't think they are, but the market price on them is about £60. There are companies out there selling them for 70, 80 plus. I would much prefer these to be cheaper magazines. I do stock them on the website because, and this is the only reason I do, is customers are asking for them, and anything made by Double Eagle or Salvo generally runs better on the Double Eagle magazines compared to Marui's. Now, for a long time, we've been recommending people use Marui mags. For a long time, they were considered the gold standard magazine. You know, you go to PMags, you have issues, this, that, the other. From all the testing I've done now I'm in a significantly unique position compared to a lot of people out there, where we have like 30, 40 MWS rifles we can test on. And over the long period of time testing them, Tokyo Marui magazines will work in Double Eagle and Salvo models. A lot of people get around the feeding issue by putting, you know, the smooth part of the Velcro in the back of the mag. When I do tell people that that is a common modification that users do. What you'll probably find is that and we found this, there was a couple of people at the gas blowback event, we'll be doing a recap of that soon, that were running TM mags in like a Salvo Precision RSAR, fine on semi. As soon as they wanted to do auto, they were getting feeding issues, which is what we've experienced. So if you run the Double Eagle and the Salvo rifles on the Stanag, this is just a TAM one, but they're all the same. Semi-auto and full auto will work absolutely fine. So just that out the way. Guy thought he had a bit of a gotcha on me, calling me a hypocrite and that, and I'm not, because I still stand by what I said. These, I think, market value should be lower. You know, sort of 40 to 50 pounds would probably be a much more palatable price. But that's what the market's doing. That's what the price they're coming at. I just think now, if you're having spent a lot more time with the platforms, if you're running a Double Eagle or a Salvo gun, there isn't really much of a benefit anymore running with the Marui magazines. Now, these, I've seen retailers dropping the price on these, and that's probably because the market share has been hurt by Double Eagle and Salvo. But less of that, we'll get into the video. I'm going to pop some specs on, and we're going to get straight into it. So here we have the Double Eagle Lupus, or the Jackal, and we're going to run through and see what this thing is doing. So first, the Stanag from Double Eagle or Salvo, they're pretty much the same. What you want to do a lot of the time, I've found with this Jackal, is just make sure they're well seated. 2 5-gram BBs in all of these. We're using green gas. We're using silicon-free green gas. We're not using propane. And on a 2.5. This magazine's coming out at 1.3 joules, which is interesting. Now, I did run this gun recently with the AirTac lower, and what I found was on the AirTac lower, at around 120, 130 psi, I did have to turn the MPAS up, which is why we're running a little bit warmer. So what we can do before we carry on is we can set this MPAS to where it needs to be. Now, one thing I have noticed about the Double Eagle MPASs is they're not quite as positive as locking your setting in. It's super easy to adjust. The grub screws do spin really freely, so what I've found running this gun for a couple of game days now is it likes to move about a little bit, not too much, but it's not the most consistent of end passes, but there's plenty of options out there for you. Loads of parts manufacturers doing them now, including ourselves, so just go with the one that you prefer. So we'll just quickly do this. As long as it's within the ballpark, we'll carry on. So yeah, 0.95 joules on a 2.5, and these mags work absolutely fine. And we lock back on empty. So the double Eagle P mag now goes in nicely. We'll chrono it. Oh, we're still on auto, but we came out at 0.991 joules, so a little bit lower. But what I find with the double Eagle P mags is they're not quite as happy on the full auto setting. Now, if you do small bursts, they're generally okay, but they will feed just fine and lock back on empty here. This is basically the same magazine, but it's modelled up as a Daniel Defense magazine. It actually look pretty cool. To be honest, if I think you were going for a polymer magazine from Double Eagle, I kind of like these the best. They just give you a little bit different, something a little bit different other than, you know, a normal P mag. So we are 0.91, 0.97, so jumping around a little bit, but in the ballpark of where we have been. So feeds absolutely fine. This is the Sekitor mag. The Sekitor MWS, which was built by Double Eagle, is a weird rifle. I've covered it in the past. You'll have seen it before. They basically took on what the success of Double Eagle were doing with their gas blowbacks, but then they decided to just reverse it. So what they've actually done is thrown in an angry gun nozzle and M-Pass, and I've hardly put any rounds through this gun, and already that nozzle is completely tore up. And I was talking to Netzi about this because he was here over the weekend for the gas event, and he was talking to Sekitor because they've dropped some hints now that they're going to be doing MCX models that are MWS based, and they confirmed they're going to be shoving in angry gun parts, which we know from previous videos that if you try put like Guns Modify or aftermarket nozzles in these, they sit slightly off center, which the angry gun one's going to do. So that's going to come to bite Sekitor in the ass. But it just goes to show that they're not really paying attention to the finer details. I don't want to throw too much shade at them, but it's the wrong way to go. Just leave the Double Eagle parts in there. You're literally going backwards. So 0.78, 0.87. We're a little bit lower, around the 0.8 joule mark, but it should work just the same. They've just got a wacky styling, which I'm not much of a fan of, if I'm honest with you. They've got like these little ribs on front of the magazine that stick out, and they seem to always just sit in your hands a little bit weird. So that's what we've got on offer from Double Eagle and Salvo. Now we're going to the Marui stuff. So this is a short 20 round Stanag. We're on semi-auto. 0.75, 0.76 are a bit lower on the joules. And if we try to do full auto, just like all the other Double Eagle and Salvo stuff, we get a feed malfunction. Now, if I stick to semi-auto, I won't really have an issue. But as soon as you try to do full auto on these mags, I think it's something to do with the way that they sit and they just try to double feed. So we've got a full-size Stanag mag now from Marui. A little bit higher, so a 0.86, 0.91 joules, 0.91, 0.91. And semi-auto, absolutely fine. If we try and do auto, we get the same malfunction. If we strip that mag out, check the breech is clear, we haven't got one loaded in the barrel, we put the magazine back in and we shoot semi-auto. As long as you don't try to go too fast, the magazine will work. But yeah, Marui mags will work, full auto does not work. We're going to the Guns Modify Strike Industries mag now. These actually look really cool. But as we all know, as Guns modifies over time, their magazines have just got progressively worse. 0.91, 0.91, 0.79, 0.8, 0.81, 0.75, so a bit all over the place. Semi-auto feed's fine. Full auto feed's fine. We did have a double feed at the end there, but full auto does work. The Goldilocks era of the Guns Modify PMags, which was the version 1s and 2s. This is a version 1 which was updated with the lower sealing plate. 0.85, 0.85, 0.92, 0.84, 0.86. So semi-auto. I went to go to do auto, but we ran out of ammo there, so let me just squeeze a few more in. So we ran out there. Let's get rid of the rest of this on auto. We do get some weird feeding on that one, so it was just one. I think it was a double feed, but it doesn't jam up the gun. It still works, just not quite as ideal. So Guns Modify PMag version 3. 0.74, 0.71, 0.84, 0.83, 0.89, 0.85, 0.797. What you tend to find with the Guns Modify mags is they will light strike a little bit, and then most of the time they will actually give you a higher output in terms of feet per second compared to other magazines, but semi and full auto absolutely fine. CGS Lancer magazines, I really like the look of these Lancer magazines. I've never looked at the Angry Gun ones because I've seen so many reports from people that have bought them that said that they are some of the worst magazines I've tried. I've had good results out of these Lancer ones. Not everybody has, but they look fantastic. So, and I'm not sure if that was a light strike. Let's try it again. Yeah, I think it was a light strike, just not being able to push the valve open enough. 0.7, 0.78. Not sure what happened at the end there. It was like maybe one came back. I'm not too sure. There was an impact in midair then, which is why you always wear glasses, boys and girls. So CGS Stanag now. Let's try this one. 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.66, 0.7, 0.621. So lower. Not the best. It did kind of work, but not the greatest. I don't really rate these magazines. This one came with a gun, so which is why I've got it. I have the smaller Stanag CGS ones as well, which came with a lot of the CGS guns I bought because I wanted retro stuff. I have since converted all that stuff to Double Eagle, and I run it on Double Eagle Stanag. So this is the Bolt mag. That's Bolt Airsoft. This seemed to be okay in my initial test, but nothing really to write home about. 0.73, 0.73, 0.68, 0.76. Again, a bit of a weird feed at the end there, but full auto seemed to work. And finally, we've got the Vorsk VMAR PMag. Not going to say any more. 1.021, so that's our highest so far. 0.977, 0.974, 0.955, and 0.917. So that's our highest one out of the lot. And let's see how it feeds now. Oh. So the rounds were struggling to hit the back wall there. So they're kind of going a couple of meters and just dropping off, but it fed on auto. Having tested these magazines, I know a lot of people have thrown shade at me for these, but it does help to run these on green gas instead of propane. For some reason, they don't like propane all that much. But again, it comes down to carrying 10 of these at like 600, 700 grams. Not ideal. But so far, I think the best magazine to run this platform on is the Double Eagle and Salvo Precision Stanag magazines. They just seem to be the most stable. They do have long feed tubes or gas feed tubes like the Maruis. You can cut them down if you want to. Just know that if you do and you really fill the magazines up, they will spit gas. But for the most part, they're absolutely fine. And yeah, there's the mag compatibility for the Double Eagle LUPUS, also known as the PSA Jackal. I'm surprised this hasn't been as popular as what I thought it would be, because I've been waiting for this gun for ages. What I will say is, having played around with their new Surge kit, which I didn't like, I'm kind of leaning towards me liking this more. Netzi ran this all weekend on the gas event, I say all weekend, but on the gas event on the Friday night, and he had an absolute blast with it. Nothing to fault the Jackal at all. So far, it's running good. It runs better on the seems to run better on the gas lower than the AirTac lower, but that's not saying on the AirTac lower it was bad. It just, there was a power difference, but obviously we can just adjust the MPass and get around that. So thanks for tuning into another video. There's your mag compatibility test. I've got more new magazines from different manufacturers, or new manufacturers, over there yet to review. I haven't included them yet because I want to give them their own video, and then we'll test them in a bunch of stuff on the wall. Thanks for tuning in as always, and we'll see you in the next one.